Good afternoon, and what an honor it is to be part of the Future of Work Summit 2021. And the future of work looks bright. That is, if you believe the statistics of the World Economic Forum, as they predict that by 2025, only 85 million jobs will be lost due to automation. But that at the same time, 97 million new jobs will be created thanks to the robot revolution. Excellent. So, if you are worried about the future of work, don't, as more jobs are being created than are lost, and thus a great future lies ahead for us all, or so it seems. Unless you look and believe some other sources who estimate that by 2030, more changes are expected than the previous 100 years, disrupting 800 million to 2 billion jobs due to emerging technologies, automation, robotization, digitization, datafication, and not to forget, climate change. That will make what we have experienced over the past 22 months look like a picnic in the park. Who to believe? It doesn't really matter. I'm sure that you, just like me, have come to realize that the world is changing fast and that we tend to underestimate the rate of change and are inclined to play down the effects of change on our lives, health, well-being, and work. However, what I think does matter and want to draw your attention to is whether or not you'll be ready to navigate the changes ahead for your future. Or will you leave it all up to chance? Que sera, sera. Okay, I'm not here to talk about the future of work, nor if there are plenty of jobs to go around, or if the job you are doing now is on the chopping block or not. There are many other more experienced speakers at this summit that will address these topics. However, what I do want to talk about is change. I want to talk about how to navigate the changes ahead and avoid that the changes you are going to experience won't be detrimental to your health and well-being. In other words, I want to talk about why you should futurize yourself in function of your health and well-being. I want to empower you to be resilient enough for the demands of tomorrow, as my biggest wish is that you are able to flourish in the flow of evolution and thrive in this fast-changing world. I want to do this because personally and professionally, as an osteopath and a body-centered stress coach, I'm very concerned about the future of your health and well-being in this fast-changing world, and especially the current lack of consideration how you will cope with the increasing stress levels that all these changes, challenges, and opportunities will bring about. And this, while stress is already considered one of the biggest health problems worldwide. Stress, and I see this in my osteopathy practice every day, is directly or indirectly linked to neck and shoulder pain, heart disease, cancer, dementia, obesity, and yes, also COVID-19. But that is not all. Stress is also linked to mental health problems, including anxiety and depression, insomnia, mood changes, memory problems, learning difficulties, and impaired resilience and adaptability. Very disconcerting too is that stress over time can change the size of your brain. I'm not kidding. As stress changes blood circulation, this can actually lead to structural changes in your brain. For example, long-term stress can lead to an increased size of the amygdala, the key player in processing fear, while other parts of the brain, like the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex, actually shrink. And I do mean reduce in volume. Knowing that the hippocampus is related to memory and the prefrontal cortex responsible for cognition, planning, decision-making, and anticipation, I'm sure that you, just like me, can figure out and deduct some of the consequences this will have on you. And surely you can imagine that, for example, thinking about the future in a constructive way will be challenging, if not impossible. Your outdated stress response, which is very good in dealing with physical threats, hasn't evolved to deal with the more psychosocial, technological challenges of today, and for sure won't evolve fast enough for the demands of tomorrow. This conflict makes that the stress response, in my eyes, has become a stressor and a nuisance to your health and well-being. So I hope you understand why I'm very concerned about how you will cope and deal with all the changes and challenges ahead that will, without a doubt, increase your stress levels even further. The question is there a solution? Can you evolve on purpose and become more resilient for the changes of tomorrow? Well, I wouldn't be here talking to you if I thought there wasn't. But it will depend on your mindset and the decisions and choices you take and the actions you make going forward. A new, more proactive and futures-oriented mindset is needed to avoid that this fast-changing world will become a nuisance to your health, well-being, and your future. A wise man said once, "You cannot solve your problems with the same thinking that created them." And that, I believe, is exactly what needs to happen. We need to adopt a new way to respond to the problems of tomorrow. Human evolution has been driven to respond to immediate physical threats. But now that our environment is evolving faster than we are, and the threats to our existence have changed, our body's natural reaction to danger, led by the stress response that prepares you to fight and flight, doesn't protect nor prepare you for the challenges of tomorrow. For the challenges of tomorrow, we need to learn and implement on purpose new and more proactive management approach that prepares us for tomorrow's situations ahead of time by taking responsibility for your future rather than turning a blind eye to it or to wait for things to unfold. You have the potential to learn and develop this proactive futures mindset. You can learn and develop it through exploring your future on purpose. And that will change or not change. Create scenarios for your future. Envision what you want and don't want, and then change forward by making decisions and actions to create what the future you want into an ongoing reality. I call that process futurizing yourself. Purposely and on proactively and on purpose, incorporating futures thinking into your decisions, choices, and actions to change forward and create a great future for yourself. And yourself, I mean for you and others. Why this will help you evolve on purpose? Well, because the way you see the future, so you act. As you act, so you become. Dear participants of the Future of Work Summit, the future doesn't just happen. Unlike the past that has come and gone, the future is always in the making and created right here, right now, with every decision and choice you make and through the actions you take. The future of work, your future, and the future of humanity is about human transformation. And what is needed to cope and navigate this fast changing world is to have a proactive mindset, to unlock your potential within before it is needed. So I ask you, what the future do you want? Do you want to be ready for the future, the workforce of tomorrow, and ready to be able to navigate the changes ahead? Well, and have a great future. And with a great future, I mean a future, a good future, a future where you are resilient, not only in body, mind, and spirit, but also able to adapt and navigate all the changes ahead. A future where you evolve and grow into the best version of yourself. An actionable future where your actions lead you to flourish and thrive. And not to forget, a future that transcends your limiting beliefs, serves the greater good and future generations. Then become very good at futurizing yourself. Start to take time to zoom out and explore the future from a broader perspective. Ask yourself, what the future do you want? Start exploring how emerging technologies, climate change, datafication, automation, and robotization will impact you and the people around you. Create scenarios of the future and see what you can and need to do, learn and implement henceforth to navigate the changes and challenges ahead. And make sure to mind your body before your body reminds you. In other words, take enough time proactively to manage your health and well-being, which are key to your success and a great future. Neither past nor present, but the future has become the key to thriving and flourishing in this fast-changing world. As without the future, there is no meaning and purpose to life. And remember, the future is built on the decisions and choices you make, the actions you take or not take, and the time left you to make a difference. Dear participants of the Future of Work Summit, the next 5 years to 10 years will bring more change than the previous 100 years. These changes will have major implications on every aspect of your life, work, and your health and well-being. How you will cope with all of these changes, challenges, and increased stress levels, well, that will depend on how well you futurized yourself in function of your health and well-being. This means adopting a proactive mindset, zooming out and spending time exploring and creating future scenarios, incorporating future thinking by aligning your decisions, choices, and actions with the future you want or don't want. And whatever you do, to mind your body before your body reminds you. Remember, the way you see the future, so you act. As you act, so you become. The future doesn't just happen. It's created through your decisions, choices, and actions. The future of your health and well-being is in your hands. Make it a great one. Make it a great one starting today. Your future self and future generations will thank you for it. Rest me to say, enjoy the rest of this summit. Connect with me if you want to learn more about futurizing yourself, to share your thoughts, or just for a chat. And whatever you do, be good to you. Be good to your future. Always. Thank you for inviting me. Teşekkürler.